November 23, 2005. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia crowns a new king. King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz ascends to the throne at 81 years old. He inherits a nation trapped between medieval traditions and modern pressures. The religious police control every aspect of Saudi life with brutal force. Cinemas are banned, music is forbidden, women cannot drive or work. King Abdullah rules for 10 years, bringing careful change to the ultra-conservative kingdom. January 23, 2015. King Abdullah dies at age 90. His half-brother Salman bin Abdulaziz becomes king at 79. The world expects more cautious reform from the elderly traditional prince. Instead, King Salman unleashes a revolution that transforms Saudi Arabia beyond recognition. Today, we reveal the dramatic power shift that changed the kingdom, controlling 267 billion barrels of oil. King Abdullah waited decades to rule Saudi Arabia. He served as crown prince for 10 years, while King Fahad's health failed. When Abdullah finally took the throne in 2005, he inherited absolute religious control. The Commission for Promotion of Virtue, the religious police, terrorized citizens daily. Women needed male permission to drive, work, travel, or even leave their homes. Public executions for sorcery and apostasy happened regularly in city squares. King Abdullah understood Saudi Arabia needed reform to survive, but moving too fast could spark religious rebellion. His strategy was evolution, not revolution. In 2009, King Abdullah opened King Abdullah University, allowing men and women to study together. Conservative clerics condemned it as sinful Western corruption. Abdullah ignored them and invested $10 billion in the university. He appointed Saudi Arabia's first female minister in 2009, despite death threats. In 2013, Abdullah granted women seats in the Shura Council for the first time. 30 women joined the 150-member advisory body. King Abdullah allowed Saudi women to compete in Olympics for the first time in 2012. He invested billions, sending 200,000 students to study abroad. These students experienced freedom and returned demanding change. But every Abdullah reform required negotiation with the religious establishment. Women still could not drive during his entire 10-year reign. He personally supported ending the ban, but feared religious backlash. The religious police continued arresting people for music, mixing genders, and improper dress. Public executions averaged 80 beheadings per year throughout Abdullah's rule. When Arab Spring uprisings erupted in 2011, King Abdullah acted fast. Tunisia's dictator fell. Egypt's Mubarak was overthrown. Libya collapsed. Abdullah announced $130 billion in benefits to prevent Saudi protests. Government jobs, housing subsidies, salary increases bought loyalty and stability. He sent tanks into Bahrain to crush protests threatening Gulf monarchies. The message was clear. Reform comes from the king, not the people. King Abdullah died January 23, 2015, leaving a legacy of cautious progress. King Salman became monarch the same day at 79 years old. He had governed Riyadh for 48 years as a skilled administrator. Everyone expected Salman to continue Abdullah's slow reform strategy. Instead, King Salman shocked the world. 3 months after becoming king, Salman launched military intervention in Yemen. The war cost over $200 billion and continues today with no end. In April 2016, King Salman stripped religious police of arrest authority overnight. No negotiation with clerics, no gradual transition, just royal decree. In June 2017, Salman made his most shocking decision. He removed Crown Prince Mohammed bin Nayef, who was next in line. Salman appointed his own son Mohammed bin Salman as Crown Prince at just 31 years old. This shattered succession tradition where power passed between brothers, not to sons. MBS became the face of King Salman's revolutionary transformation. Vision 2030 launched in 2016 to end Saudi Arabia's oil dependence. The plan requires $500 billion to completely diversify the economy. NEOM, a futuristic megacity costing $500 billion, would stretch 170 kilometers. The Public Investment Fund grew to $620 billion, investing globally. In September 2017, King Salman issued a decree allowing women to drive. The ban Abdullah supported ending but couldn't break, Salman ended with one signature. Women began driving in June 2018, celebrating freedom denied for 70 years. Cinemas opened in April 2018 for the first time in 35 years. Music concerts featuring international stars now fill Saudi stadiums. Women work in restaurants, hotels, offices without male guardian permission. The transformation Abdullah spent 10 years negotiating, Salman achieved in 3 years. But Salman's methods were ruthless where Abdullah's were diplomatic. In November 2017, MBS arrested 381 princes, ministers, and businessmen overnight. They were held in the Ritz-Carlton until they surrendered $100 billion. King Abdullah governed through family consensus and negotiation. King Salman concentrated all power in his son MBS. Critics who praised reforms now sit in Saudi prisons. Jamal Khashoggi, a journalist critical of MBS, was murdered in Istanbul in 2018. The CIA concluded MBS ordered the killing, though Saudi Arabia denies it. Abdullah's reforms had broad support because he moved with society. Salman's reforms are imposed from above with brutal suppression. Under King Abdullah, Saudi GDP grew from $316 billion to $756 billion. Under King Salman, GDP reached $1.1 trillion in 2024. Non-oil revenue grew from 15% to 35% under Salman. But youth unemployment remains at 25% despite Vision 2030 promises. Abdullah invested 25% of budget in education and healthcare. Salman redirected spending to economic transformation and military expansion. Abdullah executed average 80 people yearly for murder and drugs. Salman's government executed 184 people in 2019 alone, including political prisoners. The Saudi population is divided, judging both reigns. Older Saudis remember Abdullah as wise king respecting tradition. Younger Saudis celebrate Salman and MBS for freedoms Abdullah only promised. Women who can now drive credit. Salman for change Abdullah couldn't deliver. But activists imprisoned see empty progress without political freedom. Saudi Arabia's military budget under Abdullah averaged $45 billion annually. Under Salman, military spending exceeds $75 billion per year. The Yemen war alone cost Saudi Arabia over $5 billion monthly. Abdullah avoided confrontation with Iran, preferring diplomatic pressure. Salman views Iran as existential threat, requiring aggressive response. Saudi Arabia today is unrecognizable from Abdullah's kingdom. Women drive, work, travel, attend concerts that were crimes 10 years ago. But political prisoners fill jails more than ever before. Criticism of monarchy is more dangerous under Salman than Abdullah. King Abdullah proved reform was possible without revolution. King Salman proved revolution was possible without democracy. Both men shaped modern Saudi Arabia with completely different visions. Abdullah believed in evolution, consensus, respecting religious authority. Salman believes in revolution, absolute power, crushing all opposition. The question remains, which approach serves Saudi Arabia better long-term? Abdullah's slow progress or Salman's forced transformation? That's the truth about Saudi Arabia's power shift. Two brothers, two eras, one throne transformed. From careful evolution to brutal revolution. If you want more revelations about royal power and transformation, subscribe to Royal Command. Hit that notification bell because we're exposing secrets of kingdoms. Drop a comment, which king's strategy was better, Abdullah's caution or Salman's boldness? Next video reveals Dubai versus Abu Dhabi and which emirate really controls the wealth. Until then, remember, evolution and revolution both demand a price in the Game of Thrones.